Hello guys, welcome back to Pretty Unprepared podcast. Today I have a super exciting episode. I feel like I say that at the intro of every single one, but this one I am the most excited for because today I randomly was like, I want to do an episode about being delusional because I, for the longest time now, have literally just been living in my own world in my head, and some may call that scary, others may call that amazing, and I want to talk about how to be delusional, how to live with intention, positive thinking, what is the law of assumption, what is the law of detachment, and how to literally just live your best life and get everything that you want. Life can throw crazy curveballs your way, and you never know what tomorrow will bring, but one thing you can do is try to be prepared. Pretty Unprepared is a podcast hosted by me, Pamela Valdez, all about being the best version of yourself while preparing for the life you want and deserve. With this podcast, we are targeting millennials, content creators, students, creative individuals, and more looking to gain insight on all things social media, living your best life, self-confidence, love, building your career from the ground up, landing internships, secrets to working with brands, and so much more. Tune in every Monday at 8 a.m. for a brand new episode. I want to give some preface and some credit to where this episode idea actually came from, because even though I have basically been delusional for like a really long time, I actually got this episode idea because a few days ago I went to a Drake concert. I saw him at Barclays Center Night 2, and it was so amazing. The concert was so good, and at the end of the concert he gave a speech, and obviously he was closing out the concert, and he said that there are so many people that he has heard talk bad about him behind his back. He's like, I've never heard any of these people actually come and say it to my face, so you know what that means. And then he also finished it off by just saying that a successful life is an exhausting life, and that if you want to have a fruitful life, it's gonna be exhausting because you're gonna have to put in a lot of work. And he also said to just keep working hard, and one day you're gonna get to where you want to be, and like it's all gonna be worth it in the end. And when I was hearing these words, I was just like, this is so insane. Number one, that like Drake was saying this, and number two, that he literally is so right, because number one, people are always going to be talking bad about you, and do you ever hear these people saying it to your face? No. And number two, if you want to live a successful and good life, there is so much that you're obviously going to have to go through to get to that point. And I'm not saying that the whole journey is going to be bad, but part of the journey is obviously learning, and that does mean, you know, encountering some negative things. But in today's episode, I want to go over how to be delusional, because this is a word that a lot of people might think it sounds negative or crazy, but when I tell you guys that being delusional literally has changed my life, I'm not even kidding. When you wake up every day and just know that you live a good and a happy life, and that you know you're going to get everything you want and achieve your dreams, that is the best way to live your life. Because for the longest time, I never knew what direction I wanted my life to go. I always had dreams, I had really big goals, and I always had different ideas of what I wanted my life to look like, because I am someone who is definitely an overachiever, and I really like to set super high goals for myself, and I would always be really upset when I wouldn't achieve them. But I'm not looking at this in a bad way, because honestly, the people that have the craziest goals and the craziest dreams are the people that I want to be surrounded with. And like I said before, I always had these really big goals and these dreams and these ideas, but I never wanted to actually sit down and be in the driver's seat and go to this destination. I always was waiting for someone around me to do something, or I just wanted to be lazy, and I never wanted to do anything about it. I always just kind of wanted to take the easy route in life, and unfortunately this was also because of the people that I was surrounded with. They always were waiting for someone else to kind of make the next move for them, and it wasn't until about 3 years ago, back in 2020, that something completely switched in me. And after I graduated high school, it wasn't until now that I truly realized I've always had this kind of like delusional mindset and positive thinking, and it really has helped me get to where I am today, obviously with a mix of hard work. So I want to give you guys some of the tips that have honestly helped me when it comes to being delusional and like what exactly this is. When I am delusional, I basically wake up every day knowing that it's going to be an amazing day. This is also known as lucky girl syndrome. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. If you want, you can look it up on TikTok. There's so many videos on it. But essentially, lucky girl syndrome is when you just know everything good is going to happen to you. You're the luckiest girl in the world. You're the luckiest person. And no matter what, things are always going to go your way. A lot of people like to call this toxic positivity. But honestly, if you want to just live a better life every single day and you just want to wake up and be happy with your life, I love thinking like that. Like, you can call it crazy, you can call it delusional, whatever you want. I think that that's a great way to live your life. And back to what I was saying before, when you wake up and just know that you're gonna live a good life, you're gonna have a good day, and that everything you want is already on its way, that is essentially how I am delusional. We all know those TV shows and those movies that we watched growing up, like Hannah Montana and the movie Starstruck, and all of these, like, you know, shows that literally showed people just being famous and having this insane, absurd life. Like, I don't know why, that's just always been drawn to me. I've always wanted to just be known for something. And I'm not saying that I'm a famous person, but on social media, I've created this kind of like reputation for myself and almost this mini platform that sometimes when I go to events or I'm out in New York and I get recognized, I'm like, is this real? Like, what is going on? And I'm not saying that's feeding into my ego, but literally that makes me so happy and excited because I'm like, wait, I just got recognized. Someone knows me from TikTok, because I don't have hundreds of thousands of followers, but the fact that I literally can go to an event and someone comes up to me and says, I love your TikToks, like, that makes me so happy. And it's crazy because I'm like, how did I go from filming videos in my room to now someone saying I love your videos? But again, me being delusional and just me being like, I want to be known, I want to, and not essentially like be super famous, but I want this extravagant life and I want to be known for certain things. Honestly, me working towards that and then that happening in real life is just such an amazing feeling. So believing in what you want to believe and wanting that to happen is first step to being delusional. And the reason why I say this is because, like in my previous story, I just said about, you know, me being a content creator and being known for something. I always believed that I was going to be known for something, and I didn't know what it was going to be, but growing up I was always just like, I want it to be something, I don't know what it is. And then as I got more comfortable online and on social media, and as I got to see that people were becoming influencers and all this stuff and YouTubers, I was like, you know what, this can be something I can try. In the end, I always knew that I wanted a really big result, and, you know, I want to be known as a content creator or just someone known in that social media world. But it was literally because I believed that this was going to happen, and I believed that this was going to be my life. It truly is about mind over matter, and that is my second tip, is that if you want something to bother you, it will bother you. If you don't want something to bother you, then it won't, because you literally have control over your own happiness, over your own life. Life is what you make it. And if you let people just get to you, and if you let certain things bother you, it is obviously going to bother you. And I don't have the toughest skin, I'm not gonna lie. I definitely let a lot of little things get to me. But for the past 2 years, ever since I've been in this whole social media world and I've just been working towards my dreams and my goals, I've realized that I have control over what is in my life. I control my own happiness. I control what I want to think of. And if I see a rude comment, I don't care. I'm just going to let it slide because I control my own life. And it doesn't matter if someone thinks this thing of me online, because they literally do not know me. My third tip is give yourself timelines when it comes to certain goals and dreams that you have. And even if this timeline isn't realistic, don't let yourself think that it's not realistic. Like, for example, if you want to make $100,000 in a year, tell yourself, I'm going to make $100,000 in a year, and then work towards making that happen. Whether it's finding a new business idea, or figuring out a new skill that you can learn, or, you know, maybe you pick up on something you see on social media, like whatever it is, do what you can to get to that goal, and just know that that is so close within your reach. The reason why you should give yourself a timeline is because you are now going to be able to work from now until then to make sure that that happens. So for example, let's just say that like, again, the money situation. You want to make money within a certain time. You set yourself this timeline. Now you have to actually put in the work and try to see how you can get to that. And do not let yourself believe that it's not going to happen. Like, literally keep working towards that until it happens. For example, let's just say I want 1 million TikTok followers. I will give myself a timeline. Okay, in 6 months, let's see if we can get to 1 million TikTok followers. Obviously, that sounds crazy, but you never know if literally a flip could switch and then your content just goes up and then in 2 months you get 1 million followers. Because we've seen that happen before on social media, so why would you think that that cannot happen to you? There is also something called law of detachment, which basically means you are detaching yourself from a result or an outcome in order to allow what you want to desire to materialize physically. So this basically means that you're putting intention behind something that you want. You're putting action to be detached from whatever your current reality is, because you're making way for the life that you actually want. And when you are constantly holding on to things or people that aren't meant for you and that are negative, you're just going to be blocking so many amazing things from actually coming into your life. And again, from whatever it is that you're desiring to materialize physically. There is also something called law of assumption, which basically means you believe that what you want already exists and you are bringing this into your real life. And this is also known as a specific positive thinking tactic, which basically allows you to view your life in a totally different way, all because your imagination is going to create your reality. And I also want to preface by saying this is completely different from manifestation, because manifesting, I feel like that's totally different. I used to be into that, now not really as much. I like this a little bit more because this has to do with thinking and actually putting in work behind actually putting in like action and work behind what it is that you want. Because with manifestation, I feel like that's very, you just kind of write something down and then you close the book and you're like, okay, I'm going to wait for this to happen. But when you are just delusional thinking and you're living every day with this new mindset and this new thought process, I really feel like that is so much more helpful than just writing something down on a piece of paper and then closing that notebook. Because when it comes to this, you already know in your mind, okay, this is going to happen. This is what I want. And you're going to think positively, obviously, every single day, and you're still going to work towards whatever that goal is, but you're giving yourself a timeline and you're actually getting rid of anything negative in your life that is not going to help you get towards that. So this is how you're actually going to start incorporating everything we just talked about into your everyday life. Because even though I just gave you all of this advice and tips, I want to actually tell you how you can incorporate this. So first thing is first, get rid of all negative thinking. I literally don't care what it is that you think about yourself. If you think your hair is ugly, if you think that you could look different, if you don't like the clothes you wear, like whatever it is that makes you think negatively, get rid of it. And it doesn't matter whatever belief or thought it is that you have about yourself, just literally completely get rid of it. You need to start with a clear mind, just a fresh, no thoughts, nothing from whatever is going on in your personal life right now, because you need to have a clear head. And with now your clear mind and getting rid of all your negative thoughts, write down a new storyline, this new plot for yourself and whatever it is that you want. And something that I heard on another podcast as well, which I thought was really cool, is write down the new season and the new characters and the new plot for your life. Like, think of your life as if it's literally a show, and what characters do you want? What do you want this season to look like? What plot do you want? And again, this could literally be about anything. We are already in July. August is, I think it's next week. And it's like, just think about what it is that you want these next 3 months of your life to be, because there's always those 4 quarters of the year. There's quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right now we're in quarter 3. We're about to enter quarter 4 soon. And it's like, what do you see in this next quarter of the year? What do you want your life to be like? After you have written down this new story and this new life that you want, think all you want about it. Like, constantly think about this, envision it, pretend that you are living in this, but at the same time, put in work and attention into everything that is around you and what you're able to control, because that is how you're going to be able to get to where you want to be. So I'll give you guys an example. Let's just say that I want to, again, manifest a certain amount of money. I'm going to look at what is around me, and let's just say I have negative people that are like, you're never going to get that money. Immediately you're done. You're cut off. You're done. You're not going to be a part of this new life. And you're just like, I literally don't want to hear thoughts that you are thinking that are negative. Then you're going to come up with some sort of plan, even if it's not the most accurate plan. Write out this plan of how you want to achieve this money. What are you going to give in return if you do receive this money? And then every single day, work toward that. Again, give yourself that timeline of, okay, in 1 year, I'm going to do this. And then every single day, chip away a little bit at this goal until one day you are at that. My next tip is learn to be okay and comfortable with this idea of what is in your mind. And it doesn't matter if you don't know when or how it's coming, just know in your heart that it's coming. Again, like I said previously, earlier in the episode, I've always wanted to be well known for something. I've always wanted to be just in that high networking, high connections crowd, and I want to be around people that are in the same mindset as me. Obviously, I want to be wealthy and I want to live this amazing life. So I am being comfortable with the idea of I don't know when or how this is going to happen, but I just know it's going to happen. I'm going to keep living my life. I'm going to keep working every single day to get to where I want to be. And one day I know it's going to happen. It could be tomorrow. It could be in 10 minutes. It could be a year from now, 3 years from now, 10 years from now, whatever it is, whatever timeline it is that I decide to give myself for whatever goal I have, I'm just going to keep working towards that. My next tip is to remember that it is going to be very, very hard in the beginning, but take action and have so much desire for what it is that you want because you are going to materialize it. So know that whatever goal it is that you have in mind, whatever it is that you want to go towards, it's going to be hard. No one said that anything was easy. Just like I said earlier, what Drake was saying at the concert, that a successful life is an exhausting life because there is going to be a lot of work and different people are going to want different things from you and it's going to be a crazy life. But again, that is, you know, what he said is a successful life, and Drake is pretty successful, so I'm pretty sure we could all definitely take that into consideration. But another tip is to do daily affirmations before you sleep and when you wake up. I've been doing this for the past weeks and I love it. When I wake up, I imagine this dream life that I want, and when I go to sleep, I imagine it until I literally fall asleep. And I'm telling you, it sounds crazy. It's delusional, but again, it's literally just living with this idea that I want this life so bad and I really am going to make sure that it is going to happen. My last two tips are allow yourself to know that life is going to take you in different directions and be okay with the directions that life is going to take you. Even if it's not the ideal plan that you had, know that everything happens for a reason. And I am someone who, I'm definitely type A and I love to have a plan and an itinerary for everything. But when it comes to my actual life, I don't want to have a set plan anymore. And I don't want to have this itinerary of, okay, I'm going to work here and I'm going to work for this many years and then I'm going to retire and then I'm going to get, I'm going to go buy a house in this state and I'm going to have kids and I'm going to get married. Like, I am not giving myself a timeline when it comes to things that are happening in my life. I'm giving myself timelines for my goals and for my dreams and what it is that I want. But at the same time, I'm letting life take me where it's supposed to take me. I'm not going to have this strict plan for myself anymore. And, I'm going to have a outline of what it is that I want to achieve, but I'm not going to write everything down so specific and to the T that if it doesn't happen that way, then I'm just completely scratching the whole thing. My last tip is allow yourself to see the highest version that you can of yourself and note that there is no right or wrong answer. Whether it is that you're trying to manifest a ton of money, or you want fame, or you want success, or you just want to help out your family, or maybe someone in your family is someone that you love and you want the best for them. Whatever it is, just know that there's no right or wrong answer and that you are the highest version of yourself and you're just waiting to be the even highest that you can be, because trust me, I see it for all of you. To end off today's episode, I want to give you guys some final 4 tips to just recap everything, which is number 1, get rid of negative energy. Number 2, understand that people are not going to understand the life that you want and whatever mindset it is that you have, because they just don't have that for themselves. Number 3, keep some things to yourself. You don't have to voice every single goal and dream that you have to your friends or your family. Obviously, live life the way that you want to live it and the way you envision it, but don't tell everybody your goals, because not everyone is always going to be happy for you. And last tip is envision this life every single day that you want, no matter what. And do this when you wake up and before you go to sleep. And those are the final tips that I want to say to end today's episode, because I'm telling you guys, the dreams and the goals that you have are going to happen, and just be delusional. Like, even if people are like, that's not going to happen, tell them, no, it is gonna happen. Like, I don't care what you say. And if they don't believe you, who cares? Let them live their own life and know that if they're gonna keep being negative, they're not gonna get anywhere. Because trust me, I've had way too many of those people in my life, and now that they're finally out, I feel like I'm at the highest version of myself, honestly, and I'm just waiting until I get to the even highest version of myself. So trust me, be delusional, live delusional every day. Just know that whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, and the life that you want, it's already on the way, and you're just waiting for it to come. Thank you guys so much for listening to Pretty and Prepared, and make sure to tune in every Monday for new episodes at 8 a.m. and my DMs are open for any podcast episode ideas you guys have, or if you guys just want to talk, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.